everyone, it's Giselle here with an energy reading. I haven't done a reading in a little bit because I've had some stuff to sort out, but catching up on personal readings and work and stuff like that. But I'm back, and here is a 3D energy reading for our beloveds. And I felt like starting off with some letters from Divine Love Letters so that we can get a bit of an understanding where their headspace is at the moment. So I have from Book 3, Letter 72 that says, I wish with every fibre of my being that we could just be together, that we didn't have to go through all the upheaval, the pain that our coming together will undoubtedly cause. I just can't get my head around the enormity of everything and what it all means. But then I think about you and how I feel when we are together, and there's no denying that is what I want for my life, for our life, for us. I want to feel alive. You make me feel alive. Blood racing through my veins. I've been asleep all my life till I met you. And actually, I feel that this letter reflects a lot of what I've been seeing in visions and dreams. Basically, I've not done a reading for this channel since before Valentine's, and actually I've been putting up a few posts on my Instagram relating to my Valentine's visions and dreams because they've been very intense. Basically, I asked the universe on Valentine's morning, I said, please, could you give me a surprise? Any surprise, I didn't specify what, but just a Valentine's Day surprise would be lovely. And so I got multiple. I didn't only just get nice little surprises on the 3D, but the dreams I had on Valentine's Eve were intense, and there were multiple dreams. So if you have a little look on my Insta, you'll probably, or if you already had a look, you probably see all the different dreams that I've had. So on the 3D, I had a surprise readout of my letter from Nikki on Divine Love Crystal Grid. And she was taking requests for people to basically put their requests through, but I didn't do it because I was quite busy that day. I was in work, and I basically thought, well, I'll leave it up to fate. If it's meant to be, then she will read one of my letters, and that will show to me as a sign that I'm still on the right track and that my beloved's thinking of me. And so she did, and I was just so happy with that. And then my dreams for that night were absolutely intense. It was like Inception. I had a dream within a dream where I was walking through a field of purple flowers and trees within a dream. So basically I was dreaming, but then within that dream I was dreaming again. How weird, right? And so when I woke up in that dream, I was actually still dreaming, but basically I had woken up in the dream and through that dream I was again driving through a field of purple flowers and purple trees, and that was a sign to me. When I woke up, you need a bit of processing time, especially with dream analysis. It doesn't always come to you as you wake up. You can't always get the meaning straight away, but then as the day progressed, I started to realize that actually this means that basically me dreaming within a dream was indicating that the 5D, because I was seeing both images in both layers of dreams. I hope you can still follow. This is absolutely mad. Within my Inception dream, basically, it was saying everything that you see in the 5D, you will see in the 3D, because the purple field I saw in both instances. And so it is saying to us that things are coming true on the 3D. And the purple color indicating the purple chakra, so the chakra of the higher realms as well. Divine masculines have also been contacting me and seeming quite concerned But all the symptoms that they've been describing are of third eye opening and crown chakra activation, which I am so happy to hear. I know that some of the divine masculines are a bit panicky. I did reassure them and say, please don't panic. This is absolutely normal. We've gone through the same, except we go through different stages. Let me read out a letter because it explains so perfectly the different stages that we can be at. And this will help us compassionately understand our beloved's mindset. Let me just find it and quickly read it out as well, because I think this will help many people on this journey who are feeling a bit shaky, perhaps, or doubtful. This is letter 3 from book 3 that says, oh, hold on. Sorry, my flash just went off because my battery's running low. I don't want to close this video off, so let me just quickly find my charger and start charging. Gosh, this is always happening, isn't it? Okay, hold on a moment. Sorry about this. Right. Okay, so I'm going to read, excuse me, letter 3 from book 3 that explains, imagine 2 matchsticks going down a river. One gets stuck in the reeds. There's a waterfall ahead. The one matchstick gets to go down the waterfall first and ends up in the beautiful pool of sacred water at the bottom. The other matchstick is stuck in the reeds and is swayed to and fro amongst the reeds until it eventually gets dislodged and then starts to flow down the river, over the waterfall and into the sacred pool at the bottom. Eventually, the inevitable happens and the 2 matches end up side by side again. Let nature take its course and the inevitable will happen. So I feel that this letter beautifully illustrates what is going on. So some divine masculines come to me and ask, how come I'm feeling this way? So I reassure them, this is normal, this is your third eye activating, it's all good. Are you going through the same? And I try to explain, well, I've been through it already. So basically the destination is always the same, but the journeys may be slightly different. They may get stuck or have to do a detour, you know, or we may get stuck or decide to detour. But eventually the destination of the journey is always the same. So let's have a look at this reading then. So what are the energies currently going on with our divine masculines? We have rest and relaxation, the sun, and Archangel Ariel, sacral chakra. Friendship, community, opportunities, and balance. So overall, it feels quite a calmer than what it was, certainly. There's not as much conflicting energy as what I used to feel. There is a beautiful throat chakra card, which I absolutely love, and a woman holding a heart. So these 2 opposing energies, well, not opposing in this case. What I usually get are 2 opposing energies of what is it that you want, or what is it that you are trying to achieve. What they want to be able to achieve is the throat chakra is communication with us through the magician, and we have also the Knight of Swords, which again I had to get a clarification on. What do you mean by communication? So the magician indicates that they want to change the way in which they communicate. So basically, if they've been ghosting you or radio silence or just not very good at communicating, then they would like to change that through the magician. And the Knight of Swords indicates, you know, speeding ahead on the horse, getting some action rather than just contemplating. If I had pulled, say, this one here, it would just be contemplation on communication, but this is not. This is the Knight of Swords, which is the action card for communicating. So that is excellent news. yeah, a lot of divine masculines that have been reaching out to me are becoming more vocal about their journey and about their strengths and also their weaknesses, which is really admirable. They're actually expressing how they do find it a struggle, and I feel that that's a step in the right direction because they can express openly. I know it is to me that they're expressing themselves and not to their beloveds, but that's a step in the right direction. If you can express yourself to anyone, you are getting used to being able to do that more and more. So, with regards to the rest and rejuvenation, I just needed to clarify, what does this mean? And we got the Six of Wands, which this one is confidence, I feel. So basically what they're working on is assurance, and this is to do with community. So this is to do with the people that they surround themselves with. So taking a step back, this card indicates to me not always rest and rejuvenation. It also feels like men spending time contemplating things, withdrawing, going into their caves and having a good ponder about what it is. So they're needing to have this confidence to feel that basically their peers, are they hanging around the right type of people? Are they perhaps, needing to reevaluate that, in order to be in the right setting? Because over the past few days as well, I've had some ideas come to me, channelings about the divine masculine kind of reevaluating, having done a lot of things that perhaps they thought was expected of them, but now thinking, actually, that isn't me. Perhaps going out every Friday night or hanging around a certain type of people. And now they're starting to feel, actually, this isn't me and I shouldn't be having to do this. I know I felt that way when I was in a long-term relationship years ago. And basically, my boyfriend at the time had a group of friends that I just didn't get on with. And I was only sort of visiting them to do him a favor, but these people were so shallow and so disconnected from what I felt was the world that I couldn't. I tried my best to get on with them, but I just couldn't. And so I feel our divine masculines are now also going through a bit of that, of reevaluating, are the people that I surround myself with actually good for me? Because there seems to be this lack, the spiritual disconnect, and they're not getting what they're wanting from those relationships and friendships. And then the next card we have here is the Sun, which is beautiful. And as an in-between card for more of an explanation is the Page of Swords. Again, communication. How awesome is this? Communication. But the Page is more of a innocent, quite a shy, quite a coy communication, but it is looking for opportunities basically to bring in the Sun to communicate. And I feel this is for their divine feminine because she comes up here as the woman holding a heart. I feel this is the divine feminine showing up. So it is sort of on the other scale of here's communication, here's what I'm wanting to change and to take action on, and this is to reach my divine feminine, which is absolutely gorgeous. And then here we have Archangel Ariel, which represents passion, the sacral chakra, sensuality and sexuality as well. Then here we have the Justice card and balance. So what I'm feeling with this, and this is again very beautiful and so lovely to see, is that within the divine masculine's energy is to, in order to get this woman holding a heart for them, is they know that their sacred sexuality, it is a sacred thing. It has to be correct, done right with a Justice card in order to get that balance. And because unfortunately their situations I feel have been very imbalanced, it almost feels like the people that they were with only wanted them for a certain thing. It was never to fully accept them for who they were. And so they may have been physical and physically attracted, but there was never that fulfilling sexual union. There was always a condition attached to it. Oh, I like you because of your status, your money, your appearance, what you can do for me. You know, there was never that full acceptance and full unconditional, complete. Because, you know, having sexual relations just for the physical aspect just isn't fulfilling. After a while, you just get bored of it and you think, well, there needs to be more. There needs to be a soul connection. There needs to be an emotional attachment as well as the physical aspect. You know, if you don't have all of those elements, then what's the point? And I feel this Justice card is showing that in order to reach this balance, they are now contemplating again and reevaluating what it is that they need to do to get themselves there and not freely give themselves away to meaningless connections. And so we have 3 messages from Oracle cards with some clarifications on them too. Whoops, they're sliding off. The first card is release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy, and I got some clarification on that. So what I got here is the 4 of Swords, which is showing the Divine Masculine. Again, with the swords, we have so much sword energy, which is communication throughout this reading, which is absolutely, I am just so happy to see that. The 4 of Swords indicating then contemplating, you know, really contemplating on releasing the ex, releasing karmic situations in order to get the 10 of Cups, which is a happily ever after, which if they don't have a fulfilling sexual relationship at the moment, doesn't even have to be sexual, just anything, that if there's no passion, if there is no true passion, how can they get this? Basically, they are starting to realize my happily ever after is something attainable, but in order for me to get there, I need to release, not necessarily the ex if they're not in a karmic situation, but just anything that is not serving them, and they are heavily contemplating upon that, which is amazing, really good to hear. The next oracle card that came up is love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. And so they are standing up for themselves, loving themselves, knowing that they need to release things in order to receive the beautiful happily ever after. So they do know that this is a very vital and important thing. And with us, again, we must do the same. We must love ourselves enough and love ourselves first. And stop, if anyone is feeling negative, stop giving any thought and energy to the negative. Because people come to me and say, well, I've been on this journey for so long, I can't have it anymore. Why is nothing changing? And the thing is with change cannot happen if you keep going back and forth. It's like being pregnant and, well, it's a weird example. Or say growing a plant, you know? You can't water your plant one day and be positive and then withhold water the next. It's not going to grow if you keep doing that. It's just going to either die off or, you know, it's not going to feed the plant. Just as with your baby, if you are pregnant, you can't decide to sabotage things, you know, through, oh, I'm going to start smoking or take up drinking loads. I mean, you can't, you know. You have to be mindful and careful and nourish and love your baby so it can grow. And so there's the same with manifesting this relationship is you have to stay in a steadfast, confident state for long enough for it to grow. You can't just be one day this and the next day that. It has to be consistent. Love yourself first so that you don't feel shaky and you don't feel like you constantly need validation. And the third card we have is retreat. So it says it's time to disconnect from the world, and I have the Divine Masculine disconnecting there again as well, so that's a similar message. And I asked a bit of clarification, so what is it that you need to disconnect from? And we got the Devil, which is releasing any karmic energies, anything that has reached its full, you know, its purpose, to just let that go, to disconnect from that. And again, clarification on the devil, because I was like, well, what's the devil? Well, I kind of already thought it was to do with that, but they said Ace of Wands, which is new beginnings, creating, being the magician for your life to create new beginnings. And then so we have ultimately, what is it that you want? Woman holding a heart, the divine feminine. So I feel that this is a very encouraging and very beautiful reading, and yeah, it's good to give an update. I've been gone for a bit, but I'm back, and I will do more in the next few days. Yeah, my coursework is a little hectic at the moment, but I've not forgotten, certainly. If you would like to come to me for personal readings, I am always available to do that. If I am going to take a little bit longer, I will always notify you in advance so that you have a clear expectation of what, time frames I may have to do your reading. But I do hope that this has helped. And please, if you're interested, click the link to my website. I'm also offering some new services. Last month I added meditations and crystal healing audio sessions that I would do for you, and this month I've also branched out and been guided to do channeled drawings and paintings if people are interested in that. Please send me an inquiry if you are interested. I haven't actually put a price list up yet because it's such a new service. I'm kind of still finding my feet, and it also depends, I'm usually, what I would do is draw this hand drawn and then post it to you in the mail. So I don't even know, I need to inquire with the post office how much that's going to cost and the best way to get your paintings and drawings over to you so it doesn't get damaged in the mail and all that. So but yeah, I'll be more than happy to help out if anyone's interested in that. And my WhatsApp readings and email readings, again, they're just all available as normal. I have some February promotions. If you'd like to get a special deal or discount, please visit my promotional page. And I'll also be linking the books from Divine Love letters in the description. So click that as well if you are interested in getting a copy of your own. I certainly use mine a lot because they are so helpful and they just give a really good picture of how our beloveds are feeling. So thank you all so much for listening and have a beautiful day. Namaste.